What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lost in Translation, where we go back in time to see Incendies.
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 Which also means, which translates to what? What was it?
Conflagration
Conflagration.
in French.
Those
Which is
French.
extensive fire, or maybe something that gets out of control. That's
Wow, Grimsled, I did not know what that meant.
Well, let's just jump right into it.
Let's jump right into it. No need to talk about our week or anything like that.
Well, we already know how it was. Oh, actually, I did go back to Dallas.
Good old Big D.
Nice.
Good old Big D.
I didn't do much. I got a haircut.
Nice.
Nowhere near as interesting as Incendies.
Nowhere near. It was. Whew! It was quite a movie. Let me tell you that.
Absolutely.
Did you guys enjoy it?
I did.
I really did. I thought it was great.
I thought it was very good.
I also liked the song before the show. What was that?
It was Cocaine by Sleepwalkers.
Nice.
I found that song a really long time ago, and I was like, this band needs to blow up, and they never did.
I was jamming to it.
I finally got a Discord bot, everybody. So now the other DJs can also listen to DJ Gothunk's Magical Music Hour.
That should be a radio show next year. Is DJ Gothunk's Magical Music Hour, where we just play, I don't know, normal KVRX stuff.
We could. I don't know how people do it. It's hard for me to find one song. No, it's not that hard for me to find a song. But it would be hard for me to put a 30-minute playlist together, let alone an hour-long playlist.
That's true.
You'd be surprised. Anyway, this week our movie was directed by Denis Villeneuve, who some of you may recognize as a very prominent director of our day. And most of his movies now are in English. I didn't know how to say that in a coherent way.
I actually do not know this guy whatsoever.
You probably do though. You've heard of Arrival. You've heard of Blade Runner 2049. He's probably you've heard of the new Dune movie?
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Yeah, that's also him.
Huh.
So, and yeah, he's very popular among my film community, I guess. People who
your film community. You start one?
I guess sort of my generation. He's
your generation, isn't it? Our generation?
Well, yeah, but you guys aren't into film.
We're not super duper into hardcore film like Sammy.
I like the Serbian film.
The Serbian film, yes.
That's like a smut movie. It's horrible. I think it's illegal. You can't even watch it in the US. Because it's got well,
okay.
You can watch Cuties, so.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
Okay, what's Incendies about?
Let's get back on track here. Oh my gosh.
Well,
well, it's a great movie.
Okay, I thought of this while we was watching the movie. It's the story of a pair of twins, and their mother recently died, and they're sort of tasked with discovering more about her life by finding their father and their long lost brother. And it also, while they're on their journey, really the daughter's on the journey in the beginning, and the son sort of goes on a smaller journey towards the end. But while they're on their journey, the film also shows the life of the mother. As
kind of in flashback.
Yeah. And it's really cool because it kind of lines up with other landmarks you see throughout the movie in present day, and in the past when it's in flashbacks. I found it every once in a while. I was kind of like, I can't tell. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah, were you
it's this time period.
I was confused the first time I watched it because I didn't because they're like both like they both have really dark hair, and so I would just get confused of who I was watching.
Good casting though.
Yes,
Kind of looked like her mom.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if they ate. Is it different people? Was the mom played by like 2 different people?
Yeah, they were played by different people, the mom and the daughter.
No. The was the mom when she was older? Was she played by someone?
Oh, I think she was played by the same person. I will check.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, everyone's really good. It's a really good, really captures attention.
Yeah.
And it leaves you on the edge of your seat. And I accidentally spoiled this movie to DJ BlootScoot and DJ GeenLeen like years ago because I was like, they'll never watch this movie. They were kind of obscure.
It was almost exactly 4 years ago.
And I felt really bad because
the mother is played by the same person.
Because they weren't able to experience it. So
I actually did not remember like the big twists and stuff like that.
Yeah, but didn't you remember? Didn't you like?
I
realize it.
I kind of realized it. I think I realized it faster than I would have, but it didn't detract from it. It wasn't. Oh, I know what's going to happen right here. It was kind of like, I think this is, and then it was. Oh yeah, I was right. So.
Yeah, it wasn't spoiled for me either. I remembered that you said like something big happened, and I kind of expected something big to happen. And then when it happened, I was like, "Oh yeah, he did tell me about this." So
yeah, that sounds about.
Never really spoiled, but
it's something like so wild that at the time I was like, I need to tell because no, I don't. Not even.
It was
my
pretty
movie
wild.
friends,
I mean, it was quite wild.
What was I like 16 when I first watched this movie? Yeah, so I didn't know dude had seen this. I had to talk to it about somebody. To somebody. So yeah, would you guys? Let's do our ratings right now, I guess, since we can't exactly dive into spoilery territories.
Yeah, we don't really want to dive into spoiler territory because we haven't seen it. Highly suggest it. Don't want to spoil the big twists.
I'm checking my letterbox to see what I gave it.
DJ BlootScoot, why don't you go first? You've got the hot takes.
You know what? I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
A 10?
Woo!
Yes. I thought that it was just very well written, well played. I was engrossed in it the whole time, and there were a couple of things I was confused about, and then they like were explained later, and I was I don't know. It was a very well done, very good movie, and very enjoyable. Yeah.
Wow.
And it gets better when you rewatch it.
I feel like it does.
You'll like see stuff in the background. You'll be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like,
yeah, because every time I watch a movie or rewatch a movie, I notice that all the time. Oh, look at all this background stuff that like I didn't notice the first time, but it weaves into the plot. That is like really good movie making right there.
Yeah, that's good old Denis.
Good old Denis Villeneuve.
Probably like his name.
Well, a 10 out of 10. I would say 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Nice. I did like it a bunch. I think I know the highest I've rated until today was Ciudad de Dios. But
figure that higher.
I think I would rate this a little bit above. Yeah, I think I'd rate it a little bit above. It was really, really good. Yeah, great movie. 100%. Figure out a way to watch it. Rent it from the library. Look for it on like Amazon Prime or something like that. Worth the watch.
Yeah, that's how I first saw it. Was at the library. I rented it from the library. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and I'd say it's very close to a 10. I don't know. I don't really know what separates a 9 and 10, but I really like it. It's one of my favorite movies, to be honest.
It was really good. How would you rate this one compared to the rest that we've seen so far?
Me?
Mhm.
Or really? I don't know. I like I said, it's like it's hard because I've sort of been picking only like I'm not gonna pick a bad movie to watch,
Right.
and so I've like most of the movies I picked have like all been like either if I haven't seen them I've known that I would enjoy them, or if I've already seen them it's because I want to watch them again, and I
Mhm.
think they're all really good in a lot of different ways, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
answer. I'd say one of the things that I like about like one of the things that really like separates good movies for me is when the story is really tight and like everything is reincorporated. And
Mhm.
I don't think this movie is quite as tight as Parasite, which is like when you're watching it, you're just like everything gets brought back in, and it's like vacuum sealed. If that
That's
makes sense.
true. Yeah.
It's just but I think I might enjoy this movie more than Parasite, just because
I
it's like
think
means a little more to me because I
yeah, I
watched it
think
so many years
I
ago.
think I would agree that I enjoyed it a little more than Parasite. Um, but Parasite is still a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
And I 100% agree about tight plot, not absolutely no gaping plot holes, but I mean, I didn't look for them because I was just trying to enjoy the
yeah,
movie, but I mean, if there were any plot holes, very tiny, insignificant almost. Um, very well written and directed, for sure.
and for I don't know if this matters, but for reference, I like for some reason I just don't give movies like 10 out of 10 just because I
I
feel
don't
like
think I
it's weird.
really. I don't know. I feel like
There are only
I
a
haven't,
few.
and I don't really plan to.
We actually are watching one that I have given a 10 out of 10,
Ooh,
but it's like our last movie that I've
oh,
slotted.
nice.
Which, by the way, if you guys are curious, dear listeners, I have now made a list, a letterbox list of all the movies that you can watch, or of all the movies in, I think, a sequential order. They might change because you guys might ask for something different, or like I already changed it because it was like, oh, we're going to Spain, and then I was like, oh wait, you guys said to watch Pan's Labyrinth.
It's a good one.
So then I did change that movie, but I don't think anybody was paying attention at that point. So, uh, so yeah, go to our show page and you can find that.
And I'll probably post that in the YouTube description for
Yeah.
when that comes out.
Jacob, did you have anything to say about what we were talking about just a second ago?
Not really. I just really like the movie, I guess. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
So
was good.
I'll raise a discussion question that I sort of
All
mentioned
right.
a bit earlier. But one of you, we go to UT Austin, supposedly.
Apparently, that's what they tell me.
We don't really go there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I go to my bedroom
Yeah, it's just my bedroom.
or like the couch downstairs these days.
But but one of like the things that that has made me think a ton is there's this inscription below the like famous UT Tower on like our, I guess it's the South Lawn. I forget exactly what it's called, that area. But it reads, you shall seek the truth and the truth shall set you free. And I've just thought about what that meant, what the truth it means is, or what being set free, because it's kind of ominous. It means like it's like you're not free in a way, and you have to seek the truth, but you don't know what's false. I don't know.
Hmm.
And it also sort of happened, or I obviously like we came here during uh well, Donald Trump's the president, and there's this whole like fake news movement. So I always thought that was odd, also paired into it. Um, but yeah, So in this movie, I realized, and actually, I had a college professor right before I get to my point. I had a college professor who did Oedipus, or I had an English professor who we covered Oedipus in our course, and he made fun of that statement. I forget exactly why, but I just remember him saying that, and I was kind of hurt because I was like, oh, I thought it's a cool little line. But anyway, in this movie, characters seek out the truth, and even in the movie at the very beginning, they're like, you're in this. It's talking about like a math course, but it's obviously it relates to the movie, and they're talking like, oh, you're gonna seek problems that are pretty much insolvable, and the answers just lead to more questions, and that's sort of the ending. Is this question of like, is it better? Are the characters better off? Are they not? Because it's like also the mom is seeking out something, and is she better off? What do you guys think? I tried to talk long for you guys to think. Sorry.
I think that's a very good point with the quote. They really are like, I don't know. Never mind. Ethan or GeenLeen, save me.
I actually hadn't really thought too much about the math when the professor is talking about solutions are going to be unsolvable and it just lead to more questions. I actually didn't think about how that related to the movie. So thank you for bringing that up.
This was my third time seeing it, so I'm like,
yeah. You're kind of into and you're looking for this stuff. You know what to look
on everything.
for. Right. So we talked a little bit about like a different part of that scene that had to do with the movie. Maybe we'll do that later with trivia, but I think
You
are
guys
they
could
better
talk about
off?
that now.
I don't know if they're better off from knowing. I mean, it's what they find out is pretty heavy, but I would say they are better off knowing, because in the process of like looking for their father, looking for their brother, they learn so much about their mother that's like so interesting. And I mean, many times it's horrifying, but at the same time it's so interesting. And I think one of the things I wanted to talk about was kind of one of the themes that I was picking from the movie is like, how well do you really know the closest people to you? Because like these two people is their act like literally their mother, and they knew nothing about her. Basically, they knew nothing about who she was, what she had done before they were born. And so I think one of the themes there is like a lot of different people have hidden feelings or hidden like their true identity, and it's in the process of like learning who they are and like what drives them, you learn a lot about them that you otherwise wouldn't have known. So long story short, I kind of rambled on there. I think that by undertaking this journey, by seeking the truth, by learning the truth, they were able to grow in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like imagine if they had just like never figured any of that stuff that happened in the movie out. Imagine how, I don't know, how different, but I feel like they develop a good amount throughout the course of the movie.
Yeah.
As they learn about their mother. I don't know.
I just want to say again that we talked about it a little bit before, but the mother's life was very interesting and was very captivating to me as a viewer watching it. Just watching what she did and just how everything played out.
What she
I don't know if we
overcame?
mentioned, but the mother was basically the whole like what it shows of the mother is basically her dealing with this like civil war that's going on in the country that she lives in, which it's like the country is never named, and the places are all pretty much fictional, but they're all based on real things. And the war is like based on the Lebanon Civil War, but it's not exactly it. Just a heads up for the viewers who haven't
Mhm.
seen it.
Yeah.
Why haven't you seen it? You go out, pause it.
Go outside.
Oh.
Go. The movie's over. Go.
To both of those points, both yours and mine, DJ GeenLeen, I think the movie does a really good job of sort of putting you in the shoes of like hearing something that you probably don't want to hear, and like makes you uncomfortable. And it
Mhm.
also allows you to learn. It's like one of the best, like probably one of the best like reveals of information that I've seen in a movie. Just like you like at some points you know more than the characters, and sometimes you don't know, and you have to come to realizations on your own. And the movie doesn't exactly lay out everything for you. You have to fill it in
They
on
don't
your
spoon
own.
feed you. Yeah.
But it's like it's in a good way. Like nothing's I
Mhm.
don't think things like unclear.
Everything is accessible. You just need to be able to think about it a little bit. And I appreciate
Yeah.
the fact that they don't have to deliberately state everything because
Yeah.
they understand that you're an intelligent audience member who can connect the dots.
Yeah.
So,
So that's I really like that because it just adds to the themes, I guess. It's just it it all like flows together so good.
for sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to do some trivia real quick? Talk about that uh conjecture. What was it?
Collat's
Do some
conjecture.
trivia. Yeah,
Um,
I already laid out some trivia with the Lebanon War. But yeah.
do you
So
want to do
the
that,
movie's
DJ
set in the
BlootScoot, or
region.
do you want to do the? Do you want me to do that,
Sure.
and then you can do the?
I'll skim over it real quick. Basically, if you start with any number, or you start with any number, a positive number greater than 1, and if it's depending on if it's even or odd, you take a step, and if it's odd, you multiply the term by 3 and add 1. If the number is even, you divide it by 2, and then you take the resultant number and do the same thing again. If it's odd, multiply by 3, add 1. If it's even, divide by 2. If you keep repeating this over and over for any positive integer, it will always reach 1.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, yes.
It's
And
so hard to explain.
and
Just
that
audio
kind of connects to the story, and they mentioned it in passing towards the beginning of the film.
I realize that it
With
might
no,
have to do with spoilers, but
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's enough to not be a spoiler.
yeah.
yeah,
But I think that
This is an
hearing it, you'll
interesting
be able to say, "Oh." So
yes. If you know the end, that can evoke an moment from you.
lay epic awe moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to. I don't know. If you didn't really understand that, we had to kind of think about it for a little bit. So if you look it up on
Yeah.
Wikipedia or something, if you're
And it
interested in that.
might be hard to get that from since we like literally just learned about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our explanation might not be the
Yeah, our
best.
explanation is quite lacking considering we have not done extensive research on it.
Yeah. GeenLeen, did you have something?
I was just gonna let you say that.
Hmm.
I don't know how much time we have left. How much time
Maybe
do we
like
have
a
left?
minute-ish.
How long?
Like a minute.
I
Oh,
don't
wait,
think
wait.
we ever mentioned, but this takes place in Canada, probably Quebec, because that is where most French Canadians live. And that's why we came here from Mexico, and also back in time.
And that also, well, the part of the movie takes place in Quebec, but the other takes place in a nondescript
I think you
Middle
mentioned
Eastern
that.
country,
You did mention that part.
and that leads us into our next week's movie, which takes place in takes place in
Cut.
Israel, and it is called Foxtrot. Thank you for listening to Lost in Translation.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.